Hi, Damien here from Zanda. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your products and services. So you start by going over to settings and then look at billing and you'll see services and products. Let's tick or select services. So here you'll see a list of all your existing services. I've added a few in here to make this a little bit easier to show you. Okay, so let's click on the standard service just to see how these are made up. So in here we have the name of the service, we have the item number or billing code, so this is often used for insurance purposes. If you're in the US, you'll see claiming modifiers, so if you need to add any of those, you can add that. If you're outside the US, you won't actually see that. Then in terms of description, so you can add a description here. So let's call this a standard consultation with psychologist. Okay, and that will turn up on any invoices that are generated. Here we have duration, so you can set the duration of your service, and this is important because when let's say people are booking via your client portal, this will ensure that the system will reserve the right amount of time in your calendar to ensure you can provide that service. Additionally, you can set the tax treatment. So in this case, we have it set to tax exempt, but you can change that. You can also edit this list in the main settings area of your Zanda account, but in many jurisdictions, health services are tax exempt. So I'm going to use that as an example. And now we have category. Now you don't need to have a category, so you can have no category selected, but it does keep things more organized and makes it easier, particularly if you have lots of different health professionals providing services. You can categorize them together, and it makes it easier both for clients that might be booking via the client portal, but also for your team internally when finding the right services. Okay, now we have cost and price. So cost is actually just for internal tracking for your practice, so this doesn't get shown to the to clients, so you can just leave that blank if you don't want to. But if you know what the cost is to provide a particular service, you can put that in there and makes it easier. The price, this is the one that's important. This is actually what is used to generate the invoice, so ensure that you put the correct price there. Now, portal deposit, if you are accepting bookings via the client portal, you have the option to either take a deposit, to charge them the full amount, or not charge them at all at the time of booking. If you would like to charge them, a deposit or the full amount, you can do that by integrating with Stripe. So that's our credit card processor, which you can easily get set up and running. And this is where you would add the amount of deposit you would like to take at the time of booking. Finally, we have location. So you can take that off and have that available at all locations. So if you leave it default, it will actually allow that service to show up in all locations. But let's say you only provide that service at a particular location. You want to select that and just indicate which one or more locations that you provide that service. So in this case, if you had psychology services only at Bayside and City and you didn't have it at Hillview, you would just select that, and that would ensure that when people are booking appointments via the client portal, for instance, that once they've selected their location, that they are only able to book services that you actually provide. Finally, we have this active or deactive button. So what this does is if it is set to active, it means it can currently be used. But if you are no longer utilizing that service, you can actually just turn it off. And that means that no one else can utilize that service. You can't add it to invoices anymore, but it does preserve all your historical data, so it doesn't then go and change anything. Okay, finally, I'm going to click on save and we'll see this pop up here, and this says, would you like to update all future dated invoices? And that's because you've made a change to a service that's been used on invoices that perhaps you haven't issued yet. So what you can actually do is click on yes. That will update all future invoices to ensure that the pricing and the other information is correct. So that's fantastic when you make a price adjustment, for instance, to make sure all your future invoices are updated. So I'm just going to click on that to close it. If you want to add a new service from scratch, you just add a service, complete all information that we just went through. Okay, I'm now going to show you how to set up products. It's almost identical. So we go back to settings, go to products. Here you'll see examples of these products. So Memory Max, self-help book, Sleep Easy. I've just made these up to help demonstrate it too. But products are things that you might sell along with your services. So for instance, I'm just going to select this here. And this sort of, you can just set up a title for or a name for your product. Again, if there are item numbers that you're able to claim, so if these are things that insurance may be able to rebate for, include those. The description, as we looked at before, again you can categorize it, and we have the same cost and price. And finally, location as well. So this operates in a very similar way. The main thing that's different is that these won't actually show up on your client portal, because if someone's booking a service or a consultation with you, we want to make sure they don't get confused and accidentally book a product. So once that's all done, you're happy with it, you just click save. And because we didn't make any changes, it didn't ask us if we want to apply it to future invoices. So you just click on close. So that's all there is to it. So for services and products, very simply done from this main settings page. You'll have your services and products set up in no time. Don't forget, if you do need to make a change, you can go back and edit these at any time. So if you add in your core services and products, you can always fix them up later on if there's something you didn't get quite right on the first go. Thanks very much for watching, and be sure to watch our next video in the series. Bye.